Okay. So good morning, all of you. We are going to see the different properties of multi-rate signal processing, as well as polyphase decomposition today. So I hope you're able to see the presentation.
Yes, sir.
Okay. 1 minute. I'll open this. Okay. Okay. So coming to the identities, let us just review what we have seen last class. We have seen several identities. Okay. Last class we saw that suppose you have, we saw what will be the output. Suppose you have downsampling by a factor of m, a signal x of n downsampling by a factor of n, and you have a filter h set. What will be y of n? We were considering a few examples like this. So if you have xn as input and downsampler by a factor of m, we know that at this point you have, let us call this x1n. So x1n will be xmn basically. If you are seeing the frequency domain representation, capital X1z, it's a transform of the signal x1n. That will be basically capital Xz plus, or if you take the summation, you can write it as summation 1 by m summation k equal to 0 to m minus 1 wm raised to minus k x, no, it is x of, inside this it comes. Okay, so that is, let's put it here, capital X w m raised to minus k z raised to 1 by n. This is the summation that we have.
It should be
Am I
1
right?
by m, right? 1 by
It
m.
should be 1
Set
by
it
n, z
to 1
raised to
by
1
m.
by n. Yeah, correct. So this will be x1 z, and once that is passed through hz, whatever you get, which is yn, or it's a transform yz, will be x1 z multiplied by h1. This will be x1 z multiplied by hz. So what is x1 z? X1 z, we already know it is 1 by m sigma k equal to 0 to m minus 1 x w m raised to minus k z raised to 1 by m multiplied by this, you multiply with hz. Okay. Now let us see a case in which you have h z raised to m here, h z raised to m here, you have x in here, then you pass it through h z, then you take y of n. Let us consider this case. Sorry, this here you have an upsampler. Here you have an upsampler. Are you able to hear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So y of n, what will be here? Let us call it again exponent. Instead of hz, I will put, okay, you have an downsampler here. Okay, you have y in here. Let us similarly take x1n here. What x1n is? X1n is basically sigma. You can take sigma 1 by m sigma x wm raised to minus k z raised to 1 by m. So here already you have z raised to m, so that will become z. That the okay, h1z is, you have xz. Okay, it's not this case. X1n is simply, or capital X1z is simply xz multiplied by hz raised to m, while yz, that is the Z transform of yn, will be summation. You have two terms. Your x1z, you're passing through a downsampler. So this will be k equal to 0 to m minus 1 x1z h z raised to wm raised. Have to take the okay, let us put x yz is basically xz. If this was x1 z here, then x1 z raised to 1 by m wm raised to minus k. This is what yz should be. So if you replace x1z with this this value, that is x1z into hz raised to minus 4, yz become sigma k equal to 0 to, there should be 1 by m here, 1 by m sigma equal to 0 to m minus 1. X, instead of x1 z raised to m, you have x let us assume that this is for simplicity, let's assume that capital M is 2. In that case, this is basically yz is basically half of x x1 z plus x1 minus z. Okay.
So there will be a z raised to half. Right?
Z raised to it's not z raised, yeah, z raised to half, correct. Z raised to half. So this is what you have for yz. Okay, and x1z, you already know that x1z can be replaced as hz into hz raised to m. In this case, it will be m, we are considering it as 2. So x1z will be, this equation will be basically x1z equal to xz into h z square. So if you substitute it here, this become y z become half of x z into h z plus again x1 z. If you replace by x z into h z square, this become x minus z x1 minus z raised to half. So this is z raised to half, right? Z raised to half into minus z raised to half into h z minus z. Minus z raised to half become plus z. Okay. You have s whole square. Okay. So this is what you get. Now let us see what happened when you in this case here you have output yz written as 1 by m. So if m was 2 here, it is basically you can write it as half of x. This hz if you take inside, it become half of x. Inside here you have wm raised to minus k, which is 0 for k equal to 0. Wm raised to k become 1 when k is 0. So you have x z raised to half into hz. This hz you take inside, so into hz plus what do you have inside? You have for k equal to 1, wm raised to minus k will be minus 1. So that this changed to x of minus z raised to m is 2. So this become minus half multiplied by hz is there inside. So you have hz. So from this, you can see that whatever you have derived here using this setup is same as whatever you have got here, which is using this setup. Okay. So what you understand from this is that if you have a downsampler followed by a filter hz as indicated here, you have a downsampler here followed by a filter hz, you get an output that is same as a filter which have hz replaced by hz raised to m followed by a downsampler. So in effect, what you can see is if you have a downsampler somewhere and you have a filter preceding it, you can take that to other side. If you have a downsampler here like this, you can take it to the other side by just changing z raised to m as z, or whatever you have z raised to m is raised by 1 by m, which makes it hz itself. So a downsampler followed by hz will be same as hz raised to m followed by a downsampler. You can see a downsampler followed by hz is same as hz raised to m followed by a downsampler. So this is the identity that we were trying to convey. Or if you have a downsampler, just remember this. You have a downsampler somewhere by factor of m, and if you have a filter afterwards, hz, you can take this to this side by just multiplying or changing z as z raised to m. So you can put h z raised to m followed by downsampler this is same as downsampler of by factor of m followed by HZ. Both are same. So this is one of the identities for downsampler. And now let us see what is basically happening for upsampler. Similar thing happens for upsampler when you have some HZ here. And after this filter HZ, you have an upsampler of factor, say L, and you have an output, suppose this is Xn, and you have output Yn. Basically, you can change this as this HZ. If it passed through this upsampler, it will become HZ raised to L. So this is same as an upsampler first, then a filter H Z raised to L. So this will be YZ. This XZ. Okay. So whenever you pass it through a upsampler, Z becomes Z raised to L. If you pass it through a downsampler, Z becomes Z raised to 1 by L. Or if you have HZ on the other side, if you have HZ here and it comes to this side, when you do downsampling, it becomes HZ raised to N. So let us verify this. You have Xn here. Let us take the first case. So what will be x1, and suppose you call x1 this, which has a set transform x1 z. It is basically xz multiplied by hz. And if it is passed through this low pass filter, sorry, upsampler of factor L, capital YZ will be x1 z raised to L. Okay, now what is x1 z? It is xz into z. So this, if you replace, this become x z raised to L into h z raised to L. So YZ is something like this. Now let us consider the second case where you have an upsampler followed by hz raised to L. So you have xz here. Whatever you have here will be, let us call this again x1n. So in that case, x1z will be xz passed through an upsampler. So that will be xz raised to L. Now, if that is x1z and you pass it through the filter hz raised to L, what will be yz? Yz will be x1z. So this is something you have already got. So yz is x1z multiplied by hz raised to L. Now x1z is xz raised to L. So you substitute it here, xz raised to L into hz raised to L. Now you can see that this this is same as this yz. In the second case, this is yz in the first case, right? That is this case. Both are same. So what you understand from this is that whenever you have an upsampler and you have a priori you have a filter, then this filter can be taken to this side by just replacing hz with or z with z raised to L. So it becomes hz raised to L. So upsampler followed by hz raised to L. So I hope that it is clear to all of you how to take a filter from one side of an upsampler or downsampler to the other side. Is it clear to all of you? Please give me some feedback.
It's clear.
Yes, sir, it's clear.
Yeah, thank you. Now, let us see what happens when you have a, suppose you have an upsampler by a factor of 3, a filter, let's say, then say a downsampler by a factor of 4. If you have xn here and y of n here, Can you replace this as downsampler by factor of 4? H said upsampler by a factor of 3. Is this possible? Is this correct? Can I represent the first block as second? 1 and 2, are they equivalent? Please give me some feedback. Should I ask one by one, or you can voluntarily tell? Anjida, can you tell? Anjita, yeah.
So equal alla.
They are not equal.
Alla.
Okay. They are different, right? Are they different?
What, sir?
Are they different? They are different, right?
Yes,
Am
they are
I-
different.
Okay. I'm audible to you. My voice is clear, right? So no.
Yes, sir.
Okay. They are different. Okay. Vrinda, can you tell which one is better? Are they both same? You can type also if possible. If you have some problem with mic. They're not audible, Vrinda. Okay, Sarita, can you tell? Okay, Vrinda is telling they are different. Okay, Sarita, can you tell?
It's not equal.
They are not equal. Okay, let us see. You have an upsampler by a factor of 3 and you have a downsampler by a factor of 4. So what is basically going to happen if you upsample by a factor of 3 and downsample by a factor of 4? Anyway, you will lose some data because 4 and 3 they are not prime to, or they are prime to each other. 3 and 4 doesn't have any LCM. Their LCM is least common factor is 1. Least common factor of 3 comma 4 is 1. So they don't have anything in common factor. When you do upsampling by a factor of 3, no data is lost. If you pass it through a filter and then do a downsampling by a factor of 4, data will be definitely lost because downsampling makes loss in data unless you don't have any data at the specific regions which will be lost. For example, if you do an upsampling by a factor of 4 and then do a downsampling by a factor of 4, you may not lose a data. But here 3 and 4 are prime to each other. So if you put 3 here and 4 here as upsampler and downsampler, it is same as downsampling by a factor of 4 and afterwards putting a factor of upsampling factor of 3. It doesn't make any difference. You can verify that because if you have a signal xn, it will have a set transform xz. So anyway, xz is multiplied in the path, and when you do downsampling, that is converted to the x wn raised to minus k summation. But that will be same if you do this way or this way, unless 3 and 4 LCM of 3 and 4 is not equal to 1, or they are not prime to each other. Okay, prime to each other means they don't have an LCM other than 1. So in this case, this kind of systems will be same unless 3 and 4 or these two terms doesn't have any common factors. For example, if you put say upsampler by a factor of 15, then you put an HZ, then you do a downsampling by a factor of say 3. If I ask downsampling by a factor of 3 followed by HZ followed by say upsampler by a factor of 15, are these 3 and 4 same? If I ask, then they are not same, because 15 and 3 have an LCM, and an LCM is 3. And if you do upsampling by a factor of 15, then pass through filter and then do downsampling, you probably may not lose as much data as in this case, because first you are doing a downsampling by a factor of 3. That will make a lot of data loss, and upsampling by a factor of 15 may not compensate that. So these two are not same, because 3 and 15 have an LCM which is not 1. You have a higher value which is 3 here. So is that clear? Is that clear to all of you? You can see it by equation also. You can find the equation corresponding to YZ here. And you can also see the equation correspond to YZ here. You can see whether they are equal or not. Okay, that's an exercise you can do. Now we'll see what is polyphase decomposition also now. Polyphase decomposition. So basically what it do is, suppose you have say xn as 1, 3, 5, 4, 2, 3, 9. Okay. Suppose this is your xn, you can write xz as xz will be 1 plus 3z inverse plus 5z raised to minus 2 plus 4z raised to minus 3 plus 2z raised to minus 4 plus 9z raised to 5. 9z raised to minus 4. Now this you can write as 1 plus 3z inverse plus, or this you can write as okay, let us rewrite this 5z raised to minus 2 plus 4z raised to minus 3 plus 2z raised to minus 2 plus 9z raised to minus 5. Minus 4 minus 5. Let us take the odd and even parts apart. So you can write this as 1 plus 5z raised to minus 2 plus 2z raised to minus 4 plus, you have the remaining terms here, 3z raised to minus 1, 3z raised to minus 1 plus 4z raised to minus 3 plus 9z raised to minus 5. Now if I take the first term like this, 2z raised to minus 4 plus, let us take z inverse from these terms. If I take z inverse from this becomes z inverse into 3 plus 4 z raised to minus 2 plus 9 z raised to minus 4. Okay. This can be written as 1 plus, or suppose I write 1 plus 5z inverse plus 2z raised to minus 2. Suppose I write it as a new function, say E0z. What is this first term? Can anyone tell? What is this first term? It is E0 z square. Do you agree? If z is replaced by z square, you will get this term. And similarly, suppose you put E1z as say 3 plus 4 z raised to minus 1 plus 9 z raised to minus 1. Then this term corresponds to E1 z square. So this can be written as plus z inverse E1 z square. So you have E0 set, you have even set, which are the odd and even parts of your signal. Now, the whole system H said you have written as E0 set square plus Z inverse E1 set square. So if you have E0 set, suppose you have E0 set and you have a filter E0 set, and then you have an upsampler here by a factor of 2, then can you tell if you have Xn here, what will be Yn? This is X set, E0 set. What will be Yn? Or this can be replaced as an upsampler, because this, if you take to this side, it is Z replaced by Z raised to L. So you can put it as E0 Z raised to L, like this. So in this case, L is 2, this is Ez square. So what I intend to tell is that to implement this filter, Hz equal to E0 Z square plus Z inverse, you can very well implement it as your signal Xn coming in with a delay. You have a delay here. You pass E0, you pass it through an E0 Z square. Then you have, with a delay, you pass it through E1 Z square. E1 Z square. Whatever you get, you add it here to get the Yn. So instead of implementing this filter, Xz equal to, you know how to implement this. This is a common FIR filter. You can implement it with many delays, all these multiplication values, etc. But instead, you can use this E0 Z value, which is 1 plus 5 Z inverse plus 2 Z raised to minus 2, and E1 Z value 3 plus 4 Z inverse plus 9 Z raised to minus 1. Here, you put the delay version because you are implementing this. So E0 Z and E1 Z square, you can put it here and move it like this. So this is now in this case E0 Z and E1 Z, they are the polyphase decomposition of your signal Hz. In this case, we have used a factor of 2. This can be generalized for factor of, say, m. We shall see how this is done for a larger factor in next class. So hope these things are clear to you. I'm stopping sharing the slide. Do you have any doubt? You can ask if you have any doubt. Okay. So if you don't have any doubt, I'll stop sharing now. I'm stopping recording also.